Hello, I'm back. Today we are going to do potato latkes, and you have to work quickly with this because your potatoes will get brown. So I've already pre-shredded my potatoes in the food processor, and I've soaked them to get some of the starch out. Also, you want to squeeze the shreddings as dry as you can to get as much water out as much as you can, because it causes your potatoes to get sticky and gooey and stick together. That's how you make yucky potatoes. You make good potatoes, you try and get as much moisture out as possible. So you're going to start out with about 2 or 3 russet potatoes, shred them, and you're going to throw in 2 eggs. I slightly mixed up some of the eggs beforehand. It's just easier when mixing. You're going to put in about half to a whole minced onion. I put in a little bit less because, as you probably know, I'm a little bit of an anti-onion person, but I do like the flavor, just not the texture. You're going to put in roughly a teaspoon of baking powder, not soda, powder. 1 to 2 teaspoons coarse salt, kosher or sea salt, and a half a cup of flour. And what you're going to do is you're going to mix this up really well. Scooter! Shh! That was the sound of Scooter. As I'm mixing this, I'm going to stop for a moment, and I'm going to turn on my oil, because you want to put oil in a hot pan, or get it hot in the pan. So when my oil heats up, I'm mixing like a Latkes mixture. Now, you will want to use pepper in this, and you'll pepper to taste. You just give it a good mix. There you go. Now, I am going to add some pepper, and I'm going to use white pepper today. It's a little bit lighter. Most recipes call for 1/8 to 1/4 teaspoon. I just throw in a little bit. We'll see. I could always add more once it's cooked. I'm going to serve this with just fried cabbage, kind of like on a potato cabbage kick right now, because I still have some cabbage left from the cabbage rolls last week. So I want to use that up. My oil is heating up, and I'm going to pause while I move this over to the frying pan. So I'm going to pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. Now I have my oil in my pan on 9 out of 10. And I'm testing its doneness, throwing a little bit of water. You can hear it start to burble. Yeah, I know, my own word. Anyway, so I will scoop some of my latke, because you don't want them super thick. And you just scoop it. I use just a cooking spoon. And you can see it start to bubble up and fry up. I'm using a 12-inch pan. And you can see it bubbling. And I'm cleaning up my mess. And you just get it till it's crispy. And you can see it bubbling away. And you want it to get crispy and a beautiful golden brown on the outside. And it's going to take a couple minutes. And you will have a draining pan. I like to use my bacon cooker. microwave bacon cooker because I don't use it to cook bacon in the microwave. I make bacon on the stove, but it's ridged, and then I throw my paper towel on top of that. And I put my items there as they're draining. So while that's cooking, I am going to pause a second. So my latkes are here sizzling. It usually takes about 5 minutes for them to be ready to flip. They're not quite ready. I probably got a couple minutes to go. In the meantime, I have been chopping my cabbage and what's left of my brisket. Usually I use polska kielbasa, but I had some brisket left, so I choppy chop. Use that. Okay, my latkes are starting to turn a nice color and get firm. Yay! And once I flip them, then I'll sprinkle some salt on them. And you do it in batches because obviously your frying pan isn't giant. And while they're draining on a paper towel, you just make some other ones. Fry, baby, fry. Okay, they're almost ready to flip. I'm just making sure they're not attached because you're working with hot oil. You don't want to burn yourself and splatter with oil. Not fun, been there, done that. So you can see here, you're getting a nice brownish color. These are a little bit thick, so they're going to take a little bit longer to get that nice brown crispness. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip. This, I find, is easier when I have a second spatula, so I'm not flipping and splashing. This way I can guide it. I've just burned myself enough. And I'm not a fancy chef. I am just little old me. And I want to not burn anymore. So, there you go. Those are cooking. Yum. They look good. Ooh, smells good too. Latkes.